currently we are having this particular data frame. So why we should use pivot is to convert this data into something like a horizontal table or the white table. Basically, it reduces the number of rows, increasing number of columns. Data starts looking pretty good and more comprehensive, because uh, in the unpivoted table or the normal table we have multiple entries for the same countries, right? For any other years than 2021 and 2022, we're gonna have repeated entries for same countries, like India will be there, then US will be there, the China will be there, and they'll be repeating themselves afterwards, and just the year will change. Year will also gonna have duplicate, like the repeating values over here, and the population will be the only thing that will be unique for these tables. So what can be done is we can get this year as a distinct column into a new white data frame. Okay, so 2021 will be one of the column, 2022 can be one of the column, and 2023 can be one of the column, and then we'll have a column called country, which will have country value only once. So there will be a row for India, another record for USA, and then the third one for China, and there will be no repeating entries for these countries as well. Okay, so I have some data with me. So data is over here. I have created some sample data. So more number of entries can also be added. Okay, so again, this is the data that we have, columns present here. Just running the same command again to get a view of our table countries, and they have started repeating the itself, like India, USA, China, then again India, USA, China, then again record for India, US, and China. Years also getting repeated for each of the country, and then we have some unique population over the year. To create a pivot table, add a new cell in here. So Sparks make it really very simple to create a pivot table. Tf equals tf dot. So the very first thing we need to decide is we need to group the countries. We need to group anything, like you can group the countries or you can group the year. I've decided to group it by country. So grouping means it will take the individual values from the country column. Okay, so the values we're gonna have are India, USA, and China. Okay, so that's the those are the only three countries that we have in present in here within our column table. So if I group by country, then what we are left with is unique countries. Basically, it's a single record for each country, and I'll be pivoting based on year. Okay, so my unique years value will be the new columns for me in the new data frame, and then we need to put an aggregate statement as we are grouping them by something. And basically this can be anything, like we are not dealing with any mathematical data in here. It's just the population, so we can go with max as well. Won't make any difference, so let's consider max of population. Okay, I think everything is there for us to see the pivoted table now. I'm just displaying the result df. Okay, let's see what it brings to us. Okay, it says f is not defined. That's that. I know the reason why it's not defined. We need to import the function from pyspark.sql. This should work fine now. Okay, so as per the expectation, the countries now has only single record for each country. So each country has a single value in here. Okay, so basically you can have a look into both the tables. First one was really a vertical table with a lot of rows in the table, overall 9 rows, right? And the second table is with just 3 rows. Those 3 rows are for the unique countries that we are dealing with in the earlier data, and then we have each separate column for individual years, and then the data for that particular year. So just to cross check that we are right or not, we can see data for India in 2022. So the population for India in 2022 is 1.4 billion, For India, population in 2022 is 1.4 billion. So the way we have pivoted it and the data that has been converted to a wider format of the table, it matches with from the original table. Okay, so we can now continue to explore more in the SQL side. To perform the SQL query for same, I'll just convert this particular data frame to a delta table. Okay, so for that we use create or replace temp view, and we'll pass the name for our new table. So we'll call it table tbl. Okay, so running this command, now we should be good to use this name in any of the SQL command. Let's go to the code section. So I can change the language from here, but I'll just use the magic command. Okay, let's begin to write a SQL query. So first I'll start with the pivot part. Okay, so how this works is first writing the pivot syntax. You can write the select statement as well, then there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just putting it pivot here. Then I'm considering max. You can consider max or maybe first, it doesn't matter really. So max of again, population goes here. Okay, for year in. So the thing that is different from pyspark and SQL is you need to put the year values over here. So whatever year you'll mention here will be your new columns for the new table. Pivoted columns, like the rows that will get pivoted into the column. So I'm just putting all three individual values that we have for year, and now write the select part. So there will be two select statements. Basically, you want to select everything from, and then the another one is the statement for our original table. I'm just going for selecting all the columns from the original table. So select country, then the year, and finally the population from. Sorry, it's just a table. This SQL command for same. The SQL syntax, basically what's important is this part, the part where we are defining the aggregation function. This is how we'll aggregate data for year in column names. Okay, so we'll have something over here called country columns, like this one, the other year, and the last one. Okay, so let's try to run this, and let's see what it returns to us. I think this can go wrong, but I'm not really sure. We'll see it later after running the syntax. I think we are on the right track. So you can see the country that we have columns for the different years, and subsequently population. So that is how you can write a SQL command to get the pivot table. Well, there is another way to this, too simple to understand too. So we'll hop into that one as well, just to explore everything. So this one looks really very simple. So I'll be selecting. First of all, I'll select the very first column, which will be country in this case. Then need to select some aggregations over here, right? So the group by will come in by default. You are not able to directly see any group by syntax into this pivot query, but might be happening behind this pivot. So we are not really sure about that part, but yeah, in this query we will directly use the group by. I'll say it max, and then we'll use the case statement as well. Okay, so case when and yeah, we'll be considering the year values as a new column. So let's go with year. So when year is 2021, then population will end at 2021. So I'm not really sure how to get these number like numeric values as new columns, but let's see. If it doesn't work, then we'll follow a workaround. Ultimately we need to select this from our original table tbl, and also we need to use the group by function. So it's necessary to write group by as we are aggregating things over here, though we are not really aggregating, but yeah, we need to consider that as well. And then group by, so we are using country over here, we need to group by country, and that's where we need unique values. So just remember that. Let's hit run. Okay, so it says something. It says that syntax error near when syntax error near when. Okay, let's see what it says. um doesn't specify any reason why we are getting the error. It just says that. Okay, maybe we can use first instead of, but I think that should not be the issue. Let's try to run it with first. I'm not really sure why it's not picking up the values. Okay, now it says that it's showing an error over here. Okay, so that might be due to the values that we have for year. Let's put an y in here. I don't know if it works or not, but it's just something with the syntax. I think should not really put it in code. Maybe that will resolve the issue. No, so that's not the issue. So okay, so what would it be? Okay, so got the point. I think I was missing out the else part, which is really a silly mistake basically. So if so when year value is whatever it is, 2021, then the population, then we'll consider the population, else we should consider null. Okay, so basically we need to write it directly as without quotes, otherwise it will mess up the things. So these things are like really the basics. Okay, so now we have the exact same result that we were having with both pyspark dataframe, pyspark syntax, and the SQL syntax with using pivot. So even if we can follow this approach or the different one, results gonna be the almost same. Okay, so one way or other, you can basically see the null values over here. I'm not really sure why it is. Okay, yeah, that is because the aggregation function that we're using here should go for max basically. The first won't work here because it will just consider the first value for one of the year, and then it will just skip everything else. So max should give us the right values. Yeah, so the whole pivoted table is in front of you. If we try to get the column just as year, then it's not working. See, it just says that this is not the really well suitable value for the column. Let's try with these inverted. I don't know what they call it, but let's see if it works or not. Okay, it works this time. So if column name is numeric, you can go with this. Don't know what they call this. Maybe I really don't know, but yeah, this can pretty much work if you have column names in such a numeric format. I'll run it again. Okay, so this is what exact table we were looking into the PySpark, the result of PySpark code and both SQL codes over here. So this is how you implement pivoted tables in SQL as well as in PySpark. So hope you enjoyed it, and if you really like the video, please like the video and add any comments if you want any other topic to be covered. So that's everything from me today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.